BA director talks about gacha games. Blue Archive's monthly active users are estimated to be over 2 million without bots. I didn't feel good when I got a male character from the gacha, so I wanted to make a game that didn't have that feeling. My man! Oh, wow. My favorite thing is gonna be the other side, when we finally get like an interview from like the Love and D Space creators or something, or like, you know, an Otome game that's like, I didn't like the feeling when I got a girl character, so I created a game where I didn't get that feeling. That's gonna be cinema when that happens. There are currently about 80 Blue Archive figures, with several dozen more being prepared. Blue Archive do be pumping figures a lot. I'm not entirely in the department of I want my gacha games with no male characters, because I think if you make a really cool male character, I'm down. But I'll also say this, I don't think men fit in Blue Archive. Like, I can't imagine, I have a very good imagination. I can't imagine a male character in Blue Archive. What the fuck would that even look? What would they do with the chibis? Would they like it would be a femboy maybe, but like that would be the limit. It just wouldn't really fit at all. So Princess Connect has a femboy? Princess Connect has girls? Or guys, I mean? Since when? No, it doesn't. The blonde guy? Oh, it does? Really? Oh, shit. Same with Uma Musume. Yuki is an OG? This was a guy? Okay, I never knew. Yo, listen, I never knew. I mean, it's a guy playing a girl character. Yeah, I never knew. Well, I mean, hey, listen, that wasn't my favorite character, so it's fine. The characters and story, we were already prepared more than a year before the PV was released, and development has been underway for a year since the PV was released. It's a fairly risky method, as updates have to be planned roughly a year and a half in advance and then implemented accordingly. The importance of PvP elements has been intentionally set low because it would get in the way of the love and appeal for the characters. Based. About PvP and gacha. If the attachment and charm to a character is expressed only through the meta, it actually creates a sense of rejection. True. I could see that. Yeah, you don't want people to get attached to characters purely for meta reasons. You want to make them like the character beyond that, right? Okay, there's only one sensei in the world, so the more the competitive element with other senseis becomes, the more it hinders a sense of immersion. Okay, some weird RP shit. Characters who are big eaters or cook weird food will find it difficult to use this in combat. However, if you create a character based solely on combat specs, all other aspects of the character's appeal will be lost, and the character will only be required to be strong. True, because PvP is the content in which these combat features are most pronounced. They are currently working to reduce this. This is not limited to Blue Archive. Other games are also moving in the direction of reducing PvP and even reducing the importance of cooperative play. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this. I think, so here's my take on this. The reason I say I don't fully agree with this is, I don't want a gacha ecosystem where there is no PvP gacha. I don't want a gacha ecosystem where there is no competitive gacha. I don't want a gacha ecosystem where there's no games with cooperative play and co-op and like, you know, multiplayer. There's a balance. I think it's great to have a lot of gacha games that don't have importance on PvP, and then I think it's good to have some options for games that are focused around PvP. Because then it's like going to a buffet. You get the whole array of options. I don't really think it'd be great if all PvP gachas just die, and then like all gacha games are glorified waifu collectors and just people are gooning. Like, I mean, listen, that's fine, but like, you know, why not both? I think if we get both, that's great. PvP gachas will exist, but those games won't be popular. Say that, but a lot of PvP gachas are still some of the top grossing gachas out there. Summoner's War still makes a ridiculous fucking amount of money. Epic 7 still makes very decent money. And we have, what's it called coming out? Etheria Restart's coming out. It's a PvP gacha. There's still a pretty decent market for PvP gachas. There are a lot of people who love chasing competitiveness with their wallet. There are, so. You say PvP, but it's just whoever can spend more. But see, gacha companies are smart. They figured out what makes humans tick. And you want to know what makes a lot of humans tick? Shoring up their IRL insecurities or lack of abilities or power with fictional realities in which they can basically create a power fantasy for themselves with their wallet. And that is like, it's an infinite money glitch. It is. It legitimately is. MMOs have figured it out decades ago and have been capitalizing on that. Gacha games have now been doing that. It exists. This is why in every game you will always see those giga whales. 100%, you know? That's all video games, not just PvP though. Oh yeah, for sure, but PvP games milk them even harder. Did you see my dumb fuck ass in AFK Journey? Holy fuck, am I stupid? What the fuck was wrong with me? Why did I spend over $5 grand on that fucking game? I don't fucking know. I was just chasing that arena ranking non-stop. I was like, I gotta be first. I need to always be first. And then that fucking, like, those 6 other motherfuckers that were behind me, swiping just as hard as me, are right behind me. I'm like, oh, fuck. Ah, fuck. And then I was like, all right, I'm done. And then the second I stopped swiping, they all fucking boom past me because they kept swiping. I was like, well, all right, I give up. I can't keep up. It is what it is. And you want to know the moment I stopped swiping, chat? It was the moment the PvP became multi-server in AFK Journey. AFK Journey initially was you just PvP your server, but then AFK Journey did a thing where they started doing server clusters. And then now that's where before I only had to compete against like 5-6 whales. Now I have to compete against 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 plus whales. I'm like, my wallet is not infinite. I can't. I'm done. So he's right about the meta talk though. When PvP is important, people stop caring about the character you put out and only care about the meta relevance. Oh no, 100%. But there's a way to balance that out. And I think that's what HSR does, right? And I know HSR is not a PvP gacha, but meta is meta is a thing in HSR. But the way HSR, I think, bypasses that and makes their, like, especially their Chinese audience so obsessed with their characters is doing things like girlfriend experiences and like doing all of these events, even like offline events where you can really just like connect with those characters, have cosplayers and all that stuff. So a lot of gacha games are figuring out ways to extend that beyond. I mean, I think girlfriend experiences are cringe, but you know, people like it, so what can we do? Let's see here. Subculture games must reflect segmented user needs. We had to target the Japanese market and improve quality in order to survive, so we tried to extract as much of what we were good at as possible. We created a game that we wanted to play and a game that we could do well based on the needs of players. Then this game with bright visuals was born. Game that we wanted to play. What does this say about the Blue Archive devs? As a result, it was well differentiated in the market and was liked by many users. So I think it was able to influence various subculture games that are currently coming out to some extent. True. 100%, I believe there are a bunch of games that took inspiration from Blue Archive coming out. Like Stella Sora, that game 1,000,000% has Blue Archive inspiration. 1,000,000,000,000 fucking percent. I think there was another game as well. Oh wait, no, that game's dead. Red Archive, but you know, maybe one day we'll get something. We were gonna get Red Archive, but they got sniped. So Counterside dev game, sorta, but we'll see. I don't know if that's like truly like that. Did you get access to the Stella Sora beta? Yes, I did. Unfortunately, I will not be able to play the first day, I don't think, because I'll be on a plane to the Philippines. But as soon as I land and the next day I stream, I'll be playing it in the Philippines. I'm gonna set it up on my laptop. The relationship between characters and the user was also important. To do this, we made sure that users could interact with each other and progress through the story without appearing on the game screen. As the market grows and more subculture games emerge, there are concerns about cannibalization with existing games. To address this, it is important to reflect the needs of segmented users. True, this is true. It's like games like NT and Ananta, where the games are just so like a very similar style, a very similar ecosystem. And now how do you differentiate each other, right? There's going to be active cannibalization, 100%. He basically says, because there are more and more gachas, devs should focus on creating games for a specific audience. If you want to attract a mecha fan audience, you make a gacha about mecha. If you want to attract a husbando fan audience, you make a game, husbando game, etc. And you shouldn't try to mix everything. True. This 100%, right? Blue Archive is the game for we can achieve positive results if we can attract users' attentions by creating games that they want to play themselves rather than just benchmarking open worlds. True. Yeah, this is a pretty good interview. Pretty good insight in all this. I agree with almost everything he said. 100%. Pretty good. At the end of the day, I can't deny Blue Archive is a good game. I played it for a while. I still will continue to say I think they still are better than Stella Sora chibis as well. Like, unless Stella Sora shows us something that looks way better, I think Blue Archive still has the best chibis in the market. Not even close. Their emotes, their little dances, the quality of the chibis are just fucking immaculate, right? That just goes to show that Blue Archive has really figured out their shit. Did you see this art? My dumbass doesn't really remember which one's Blue Archive. You mentioned so many different games. This is Blue Archive. How do you not remember Blue Archive?